Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you've not been to my channel before, please subscribe and you'll catch up on the stuff we do, and and also don't forget, leave comments, please. I need to know what to do. Today in my workshop we've got this little 2004 Suzuki Alto. Now there's a bit of a story behind this. My daughter learned to drive in this car, and a few weeks after passing her test in traffic, it overheated. Now it's blown the head gasket. I'll give you an idea why in a minute. But the reason it overheated, which is a bit disappointing, is this little plug, which is mounted on the front panel, which this controls the radiator fan. So we were in traffic, I was with her, and it just went, we didn't notice, the gauge went up and up, and the fan didn't cut in and it overheated. But this is disappointing because this isn't a sealed plug, and this has just gone rusty inside. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I'm looking at the screen. Maybe. And this is mounted on the front panel where all the water and everything gets to it. So if you've got a Suzuki Alto like this, check this little plug. It's on the front panel on the right hand side. Make sure it's not rusty, otherwise you might have the same problem. So let's have a look. I'll start it up for you and show you the symptoms. Just to show you where to look for this plug, it is actually was mounted just there. There's a little hole there. That was mounted in there. So it's right where all the rain can get to it. All I've done is I've connected together and heat shrunk it. So it's not going to, well, it's not going to get wet again in that connection. But that's a matter of fact now because the head gasket's gone. Alright, let's go for a start. This hasn't been started in a few weeks actually, so hopefully the battery's not flat. Oh! It was in gear! Let's try that again. See, it sounds sweet as a nut. But you'll see in a sec, it'll start blowing up through here. Can you see it? I'll try and zoom you boys in. Except I can't get it to do it. Oh well. I'm going to rattle you. See, it's starting to blow up through. It's not expanding because it's not hot enough. And ultimately, all this was doing is blowing up, going through and bubbling out of here up to the overflow in here. But all that's doing is building up pressure, and there, start blowing up like that, and it'll just spew out everywhere. So I'll stop it now because all it's going to do is going to make a mess. After noticing that, was obviously pressurising the header bottle and water coming out everywhere. I took it to Derek's and he done his sniff test where you put what do you call it? Basically, you put a little thing in here, which has got fluid on it, and as you run the car, it just it sniffs for combustion gases in the radiator fluid. It's starting to bubble again now. Now it's only running for, what was it, 10 seconds? So yeah, let's whip it apart and see if it's the head gasket. I'm presuming it is. I'm hoping it's just the head gasket. If it's got a cracked head or anything like that, we'll have to reevaluate, see if it's worth repairing. We have spent a lot of money and time on this car getting it ready for Chloe, really. I had new sections of exhaust. I've done welding on it. I don't know if it's a standard issue with these. It was all rusted round here, rusted underneath the battery tray. So yeah, unfortunately I was pleased with the results of what I prepared. But then this goes and happened. I had a new cam belt. I've done a cam belt, full service, tappets, the lot. So, oh well, we'll have a look, see what it's like. So to start with, I'm going to do a compression test just to see which cylinder or cylinders are down, just to give us an idea of if there's if it's not obvious on the gasket, you know, which area to look in. So to do that, I'm going to have to take the air filter off, just the inlet, take the coil packs out, and we'll start with that. Alright, got spark plugs out. Nothing horrendous. Nothing obvious anyway. So I'm just going to use my little compression tester and see what happens. Cylinder number 1. Cylinder number 2. Cylinder number 3. Cylinder number 4. Alright, so we're at the board, done the compression test. So we got number 1 cylinder, 14 bar. That's just over 200 psi. Then we got 15 on 2, 14.5 on 3, 15 on 4. So, I mean, number 1, it's not massively out, but that's the biggest difference, I'd say. So that's 1 bar down, which is about, well, it's 14.5 psi difference between those two. So I may be looking at something at number 1, but that is not as obvious as I thought it might be. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is get it up in the air, drain the coolant from the bottom of the radiator. There's a little valve. We've got to set it to top to centre, and then we've got to start looking at getting this engine mount and stuff out of the way so we can get the head off. Obviously, first thing we do is take the battery off. Do the battery, disconnect the earth, he's off. May as well disconnect that as well, because that'll give us some room. There we go. Next, got to start draining the water, and on this one, there's a little tap just there. So, oh, it's a tight tap. Oh, and nothing wants to come out yet. There she goes. So I'll drain this out, and then I'm just going to reach up and take the cap off. There. So, yeah, like I say, we'll drain this out, and then have a look at getting that wheel off and setting the up the centre. And we'll take this to our local recycling centre and dispose of it responsibly. Right, now the water's draining. I just took the wheel off. This is the right hand side, driver's side in the UK. Just got to take this cover off. There's a couple of little clips. Just pop out nice and easy. Oh, and then that should, if I take all the clips off, oh, where's the other clip? There's one there. Should have researched this bit and looked at it, shouldn't I, really? And let's put another one up there. Can you see that one? Not sure I get to it. Right. Okay, so there's 4 clips that hold that one. And then up under there is the crank pulley. And yes, it is extremely tight up there. I remember this when I did the cam belt. What a pain in the ass. So, can't even see that. I can see one mark there. I'm not sure where it's got to go. I'll have to move the camera out of the way and have a look. Right, we're looking from the top here. I'm hoping you can see that. Oh, there you go. So we're marked. We got top dead centre. Right, we're going to make some more mess. I'm going to take these hoses off because we've only just drained the radiator and not the block and things. So I'm going to take these hoses off and then the thermostat housing, just to stop, you know, water going everywhere when we take the head off, really. And there's the housing. Right, let's see if we can get this heat shield off. Leave that down there out of the way. I'm going to give the exhaust manifolds a bit of a spray to let them soak in and move on to something else. Right, next we get a bit of this wiring out of the way. Right, let's the cabling out of the way. When I move the throttle cable off, I can put that up out of the way then. Right, so I've got this exhaust manifold. I know a couple of them are loose, but well, it's going to be all spanners. Well, that's 2 down, 4 to go. You don't need to see this, you get the idea. I'm going to take the bumper off to give us a bit more room. To take it off if you never have, sorry about the light. Took the normal bolts and little clips across the front here. There is, I haven't taken it off yet, a hidden bolt in behind your license plate. So you have to take it off. There's one right in the middle there. Under the arch. One there, one there. There's a little screw up there, yeah. And then one under there. Sorry, can you see that? Yeah. That's the only one I can see underneath anyway. Obviously, same on the other side. Let's get it off. There we go. We're going to take the down pop off and see if we can get the manifold off. Didn't know it before, there's a little bracket in there holding the bottom manifold, so we'll have to whoop that off as well. One downpipe cat thingy. Next we're going to take the rocker cover off, or cam cover off, and then we can check that we're at top dead center on cylinder number 1. So let's whip these off. There we go. Okay, we know we're at top dead centre because of a mark on our crank pulley there. Yeah, just about. Lines up with the notch. We know, well, just checking that we're on top centre on number 1. Both the rockers on number 1 cylinder are loose. So we're at top dead centre, number 1 cylinder. Unfortunately, next we're going to have to take off the engine mount to be able to lower the engine, which I do on a jack, just to be able to undo the crank pulley, because if you can see, the crank pulley's in there and you can't actually get anything to it. Well, the crank pulley bolt is in there. You can't see it in there, but it is in there. So I'll put a block of wood under the sump and put my jack under it and lower it down. Yeah, because we've got to take the crank pulley off just to get that cover off. Oh, and we have to take the loosen off the alternator stuff as well, because that's bolted to the inlet manifold. We can't get the inlet manifold off before taking the head off. Got to take it off together. Gonna be a bit tricky. We'll get there. Just to show you what I mean about the crank pulley bolt. There's the crank pulley up there. Can you see the bolt? You can't get anything in there because that's in the way. Yeah, so we'll have to undo all the engine mounts and that and lower it down. You don't want to come out. Might have to lower the engine a bit more. Ah, there we go. One engine mount. Right, next part of the engine mount is this bar, which also goes round to the front, which is bolted through the casing or the cover. That's the next. There was a 14 at the bottom of the alternator, just slack that off a little bit. So that should give us some, yeah, there she blows. Slack to get the belt off. tuck that down there for now. We'll take that off around the bottom in a minute. Right, so we need to get them out now. There you go. Water pump pulley. Alright, so we're under the arch now. We need to lower that down, that engine, until we can get to the crank pulley bolt. You can see it just coming into sight there. Nice and slow and steady. There she is. Right. I'll try me impact on there. Let's see what happens. Right, I don't know if this is going to work, but remember Makita. Let's try it. Oh, let's get that out of the way. No, that's not happening. I'll have to get someone on the foot brake. See if we can do it that way. Have my glamorous assistant with her foot on the brake. Let's try it. See if we can undo it. Oh. Gone. Perfect. Thank you very much, glamorous assistant.
It's alright.
I've checked that we're still on our top dead center, so I'm going to whip this off. And then that should come off. Oh, yeah, there it is. Right, you're going to wobble a sec. Oh, right, there we are. So, with the light, you can see the bolts at the bottom need to get off. I've got to take the dipstick tube out to get to that bolt, and then I should be able to go up and do the ones above. I'll have to jack the thing back up to do that, the engine. Right, dipstick tube bolt is just there. It's a little 10mm. It's all nice and loose because, yes, I've had it all apart before to do the cam belt. It should just pop out. Lovely jubbly. Right, let's jack this up a bit so I can get to these bolts a bit easier. There we go. Right, so for reference, that's where the bolts are. This is the top, obviously. One there, one there, one at the bottom there, another one at the bottom then. There's a front one, that's the top front. All off. This is what it looks like with the camber cover removed. Just quite standard really, but just got to undo that one there to slack off the tension. I'll try and do it. Excuse me if I wobble. So that should slacken off, yeah. I've marked top pulley, and there is a marking here, which you can't see where there's a marking on the cover. And I've actually marked the belt top and bottom as well. I don't know if you can see down there from a previous, there's a yellow on yellow there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's when I done it last time. So now, in theory, like he says, in theory, I should be able to slip this off. Famous last words. I probably need two hands. I need two hands. Then that's loose, so I can take that off now. There she goes. And now this plate can come off, which is just, looks like it's just got like a few 10mm bolts holding it on. Let's see if we can whip them off. To the plate. Next up, we've got to take the rocker shaft off. It's a 6mm Allen keys on these. Just gonna slack them off a bit at a time, because obviously there's spring tension on them. I don't want to bend the shaft. Try and keep all these together. And then the cam bearing caps. One cam out. So now it's time, I don't know if you're a bit upside down, but you'll be alright, to undo the cylinder head bolts, and we're going to do them in order. Basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, start with 1. Do them a bit stepped. And I can't get my socket in there. Oh, try with something smaller. Right, let's try this. There we go. Oh, tight though. Just slacken them a bit. Right, that's all of them loose. I'm going to whip them out and put them on a bit of card, just so I know where they come from. Right, so I'm really hoping this will come off now. Oh, not moved. Oh, well, something happened. I didn't break anything. Don't know where to grab it. I won't scratch the face up at all. Let's put this on the bench. here we have it. It's all a bit mucky, but all looks pretty good. Let's flip the course. Starting mode was awkward to get to. Crikey. Hope I never have to do that. Let's have a look at the head on. Right, we're on the bench. Let's see if we can get this head gasket off. Gently, might be able to see where it's damaged. Well, hopefully. Be nice to narrow down exactly where it had gone, but there is really nothing obvious there at all, which is a shame. Everything else looks okay. Right, let's give it a clean up. And there's some bad news. Can you see that little crack there? I'll try and get it in the shadows. There. See the crack? And that actually goes round into the combustion chamber. This head is toast. Not good. Not happy. So we've done a preliminary cleanup of the block. Obviously, head is toast. I'm just using this nice flat edge, straight edge. And all I've done, we've checked it already, but basically gone everywhere with tooth out, making sure we can't get anywhere. It goes in where the holes are, obviously, and the crossways of the pistons are slightly proud on this, so I've put it back to top dead center, but we'll wind the pistons down a bit. So we do crossways, there, crossways, and I've done it in a couple of places here, and it all seems pretty flat. So next, just wait for a head. Right guys, that is it for today. Bit disappointing we found the crack in the head, but hey, so I'm going to have to try and find a replacement. So this may take some time. They don't seem to be that common. So if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And also, please look at our Instagram account at larks_workshop. Down there, I hope. And I'll see you next time. Cheers, Anne.